Hello, welcome to the Little Review channel. In this video today we're going to be taking a look at this. This is the Neom Wellbeing Pod. Now what this is essentially a diffuser, but it doesn't use any water. So the fragrance comes straight from the oils that you can buy for it here. So on the packaging we've just got how it works just on the side there, which if you can see it, you can pause there to read. It's got a little bit about Neom as a brand at the top here. So Neom is classed as a luxury brand, which the price of these can reflect that. So these little things here are usually about £50. I didn't pay that for mine. I got it on a sale, so I ended up paying, I think it was maybe a little below half of that. Same as the little oils that are by Neom here as well. These are quite expensive. I'm not sure off the top of my head how much they are at full price, but I know that they're still quite expensive. Again, I think I bought this one for £5.99, so I got it on sale. I don't think I would buy these actually without them being on sale, but I'll talk a little bit about these oils later, because you can use oils that are off-brand, so that they're not actually Neom, but I'll show you a way of getting around how to do that, because they say that you can't actually use different oils in here because it damages the machine. At least I should say, not in my experience. So then, I have owned one of these for about a year, but I had to get this new one here because I actually dropped the old one and it broke. So they're not very hardy straight off the bat, I will say that. If you're going to put it up in a high place, make sure it's tucked. Say like if you're going to put it on a shelf, make sure it's tucked right at the back of the shelf, because if you knock it, it will break. Even the slightest little drop, it will damage it. I dropped mine off of chest of drawers onto a carpeted floor, and the chest of drawers isn't high at all. So yeah, they're not very drop resistant, shall we say. But anyway, now that's all out of the way, let's open up the package. So, when you open it up, you're greeted with a little manual just here, and this is going to contain information inside about the controls and how to use them. It's got what's included there as well. So there you've got your little setup. You've got your controls just there as well, and all your information on charging too. So next here you've got your little tool that is for your oil bottles. So I've actually taken it out of mine, but when you unscrew the oil just here, you usually have a little dropper that goes in the top just here. If I can get it to focus for you. There you are. So you have a little dropper that goes in the top of that, and this tool here is for sliding over it and popping the topper off, so you can get to your oil. Next, if we open up this little bit of cardboard, you've got your charging cable. Now the disappointing thing with this is that it is a micro, so it's not a USB-C, which I don't actually like. Considering the price of this, I would like there to be USB-C charging. So unfortunately that means no fast charging for this unit, but to be honest, I've never had an issue with charging. It lasts pretty long. I think it's 50 hours or so it can last till, with moderate use. Get down to the little nitty gritty. So we've got our diffuser just here. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to keep this wrapper that you see here on, because it's actually got a shiny sort of finish on it, and I don't want that to glare up the camera, so I'm going to keep this on for now. At the top you've got like a mirror finish, and you've got your controls. Hopefully you'll be able to see it just there. You've got your controls, you've got your on off switch there, and you've got your intensity switch just there, and it shines up by these lights here. Obviously if you have it on number 3, which is the highest intensity, it's going to run for longer, but I'll show you that in a minute. And then to actually access the bit in here where you put your oil, is you press this little button here. Hopefully you can see that. You push this little button here on the bottom, and then it pops up your little dispenser just there. So going back to the oil tips I have. So if you keep this little, I know this little bottle here that comes with it, you're supposed to keep this so that if you travel with this little unit, you can put this on and then obviously it's not going to leak your oil anywhere. So you're supposed to use it empty. But if you buy an off-brand oil and tip it out and put it in here, you can actually use it properly, like the Neom fragrance. So you literally just put it in there, do it up, stick it in, turn it on, and it will work just the same as these little guys here. Prime example of why you should keep your topper on when you have these, because it's also leaking everywhere. But alright, so then let's have a look how she does. So we're going to undo this, pop that over there. We're going to bring our oil in, undo it, and you're going to put the little straw in there. You're going to tighten it up as much as you can, and then you're going to bring your little machine over. If you can see at the top just there, you've got an arrow, and you've also got an arrow on this one here. So you've got to make sure that they line up. So there we go, all lined up and ready to go. To turn it on, it's nice and simple. You just press and hold and it will turn. So if you want to change the intensity, you press that, so it's on the first one, so it's going to run for a short amount of time. Second one, it's going to run for slightly more, but it's going to be more intense. And then the last one is going to be the most intense setting that you could possibly have it on, but it's going to run even longer. You probably might not be able to see it, but the fragrance is coming out of there. It's very, very faint. So as you can see, it's still going on the most intense setting, so it does last for a long time. Now all of these intense settings you've got along here, I don't actually know off the top of my head in terms of how many minutes they actually all last for. It is quite noisy as a machine, so you wouldn't be able to have this on as you're sleeping, because it probably would wake most people up. So I've seen a couple of videos on this, and like many people have said, it is noisy. However, it's not as noisy as people claim. Now, I have this in my bedroom, and when I'm watching TV in the evening and it's switched on, to be honest, I'm focused on the show. I don't even think about listening to this or hearing it at all. Once you're occupied doing something else, you're not going to hear it. It's only if you're literally staring at it and listening out for it, you're going to hear it. It's not as intense as everybody says. It's noisy, yes. You wouldn't be able to have it on when the room is completely quiet and you're trying to go to sleep. But any other time that you're up and about, cleaning, doing whatever, it's not going to make much difference to you. I'll put it close to the mic so you can hear it. It's not as noisy as what it's made out to be honest. And to turn off the machine, you just pop and hold it again, and she's off. So I'll finish this short little video off on a couple of thoughts I have about it. So yes, it's really expensive. I personally wouldn't buy it at full price because I don't think it's worth it, not for a little unit like this. I get that it's portable so you can put it in your car, that's great. But on the same score, how many people are actually going to have this in their car? Not many. I find the oil is way too expensive. You're better off just keeping the little bottle like these and putting in your own off-brand fragrance, because yeah, it's just not worth spending the that much money on their own fragrances. They do smell nice, but not worth it in my opinion. I do think, however, it's a great alternative to using the water-based diffusers. So this one, obviously you don't have to water down your oils, you literally just put the little bottle inside and away you go. Yes, it's noisy, but when you're doing other things you don't even realise that it's there half the time, or that it's even on. I mean, multiple times I've actually had to check whether it's still on. The other thing I will say about this is that I think it has an automatic switch off, like cut off, because I've had this on before where I've put it on in the morning and then left it. I've come up in the evening and it's turned itself off. So maybe it ran out of battery, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it has an automatic sort of cut off. So yeah, I like the idea of the device and I do like it itself. I just don't like the price point, and I don't like how expensive the own brand oils are. And I think there's only three different scents as well in the oils, so you're limited to what fragrances you can actually buy for these machines if you're going to buy the name brand.